What's up, y'all? Lang Whitaker here from Grind City Media. It's time for Cooking with Lang, and it's summer, which means it's tomato season. It's tomatoes. We got some fresh tomatoes right out of the garden, and we're gonna make a beautiful tomato salad. It is so fresh, it is so easy. We're not even gonna actually cook anything. We're just gonna make it. I'm gonna do it, you can do it. Let's do it together. This is Cooking with Lang. We have two types of tomatoes today, and these are coming straight from the garden of our camera guy here, Steph. We have sun gold tomatoes and these chocolate cherry tomatoes. They're so beautiful. They're firm, they're nice and ripe. And because they're so fresh and so nice, we're not gonna do much to them. I just rinse them off in the sink, and I'm gonna just let them dry here on this towel for a second. And then these sun gold, some of them have a little stem with some leaves. I'm just gonna take that off and get all these ready to go. First things first, we're gonna cut these tomatoes into smaller pieces. We're gonna make them bite-sized. I mean, some of them already are bite-sized, like this guy. The little ones I'm gonna cut like that, right? The little ones I'm gonna cut in half. Some of the bigger ones, I might quarter them just to make it a little more interesting. And so that all the pieces are about the same size. But I'm gonna cut them all up. Oops. And get them in a bowl. It's good to have a good sharp knife to do this so you don't crush the tomatoes. You want to slice them nicely. Our tomatoes are all cut up, ready to go. Now we're going to season them. And when I put salt on them, it's going to start to draw out some of the juices, some of the moisture from them that taste so good. And it's going to be kind of part of the sauce of the salad. So I'm going to salt these guys right now. And I'm going to use, I'd say it's about a teaspoon of kosher salt. And I'm actually gonna go a little more than that. Let's go about a teaspoon and a half. And black pepper. Black pepper and tomatoes is such a good combination. So we're gonna fresh crack a little black pepper. And then I'm gonna give it a stir. And now we're gonna let it sit for a little while and let that salt and that pepper start to do their magic with these tomatoes and actually just kind of bring out the flavor of the tomatoes a little bit. The only other thing I'm gonna put in this tomato salad besides tomatoes is 1 clove of garlic, just one. It's gonna be raw, so it'll be pretty strong, but it's gonna really go great with these tomatoes and kind of break it up a little bit, give it a little bit acid flavor to it. So I'm gonna take 1 clove of garlic here and I'm gonna smash this up as finely as I can. Now, you can get like one of those garlic smasher things, I don't even know what they're called, that will really kind of eviscerate it, but you can just do it with a knife too, on a cutting board. And what I do is kind of make a pile here and then use the cutting board and your knife to really get this worked almost down to a paste. Now we're gonna dress our salad and we're gonna use just acid and oil like you do for most salads. I wanna use a lemon. I got half a lemon here. I'm gonna use that because keep it fresh, keep it natural, keep it organic. So I got half a lemon. Here's a good trick if you don't know it. If you wanna squeeze it and not get the seeds, squeeze it into your hand. Let the juice go between your fingers, catch the seeds. Done. And then we're gonna put, I'd say like a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, just enough to kind of give this some richness and some unctuousness and a little fat, because otherwise it's just beautiful vegetables. Last thing before we get to eat this amazing tomato salad is I'm gonna throw some herbs in there. I've got some basil. I'm just gonna tear the stems off because you don't want the basil stems, but I'm gonna leave this mostly whole and big and let it kind of do its job in here. You almost can't put too much basil. It's so awesome and it tastes so good. So these are going in, and then I'm gonna give it a stir, mix that in a little bit. You could also use arugula if you don't want to use basil. You could use some fresh thyme would be really nice, oregano, but basil and tomatoes work so well together. So there we go. It's time to eat. Now, we could take this, you could put it on bread and make a sort of bruschetta type thing. The juice on here is incredible, so You could just take some of these tomatoes, put them on a piece of fish, put them on a piece of chicken. You could cut them up smaller if you wanted to and mix them in with steak or with couscous or with rice. I mean, there's a million things you could do with this, or you could just eat it just like this for dinner or for lunch. And I'm gonna have a wonderful bite right here of this tomato salad. Mm. Mm. The sun bowls are so sweet. It's almost like candy. Sometimes you'll see people make tomato sauce and they put a little sugar in there. You don't need it with these. Oh, that's so good. The bigger tomatoes, the chocolate cherry tomatoes, are really hearty. The bite of it is great. The black pepper tastes so good with it. The salt, the olive oil, the basil, the garlic. Oh, it's so good. This might be my lunch right here. Just this plate of tomatoes that came from our cameraman, editor extraordinaire, Steph's garden. You could also just buy these at the grocery store and do it yourself. This is so easy and it's so delicious. I made it, you can make it. Let's do it together. This is Cooking with Lang.